What's going on, guys? This is my second time trying to make this video. It's gonna be like a little sitting in my car vlog. I want to talk a little bit about transitioning from the military. It's something that I know a lot of people have problems with. Most of the guys that I served with are now out, and they've all gone through their own thing. Some people have come out more successfully than others. I just think a lot of it's a mindset, and if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to be as successful as you could be. And I think a lot of guys get out. A lot of the guys that I knew that got out with this mindset that they knew they were going to go to school, and that was about it. They didn't really seem to care where they went to school or what they went to school for. They just wanted to get out of the Army because they're burnt out. Fair enough, I totally understand. And they wanted to go to school. And you get paid for going to school with the post 9/11 GI Bill. So, you're not gonna drown. You're gonna make it for a while, but are you going to be successful in the long run? I myself did not go to school when I got out. No college experience whatsoever, and I'm doing well for myself. Relatively speaking, for where I live in the Midwest. I know a lot of the guys went to school and they didn't really have any plan other than going to school, and that's not enough. I'm not gonna name drop anybody at all, nothing stupid like that, but when you're getting out of the military, you need to have a plan. And I know that's like a really annoying, repetitive, monotonous saying to say, and I'm sure you hear it every safety brief that you get, have a plan. But when you're coming up on your time to get out, it's not like you're doing a lot anyways. Let's be real. When you're getting ready to ETS and you're going through the clearing process, you're not doing shit anyways. Most of your time is sitting in your room and waiting for orders to come in and shamming. I mean, really, you don't need to be at work because maybe you've turned your gear in already, and they don't want you at work training because they don't want you to get hurt right before you get out. I know a lot of people probably don't even care about that, but at least for me, once I got my final physical done and once I had my gear turned in, there's really nothing they could do. They can't have you do PT because your final physical's done and you can't get hurt anymore. If you get hurt after you've done your final physical, then your unit's going to be in a ton of shit because you're not supposed to be doing anything after your final physical. If your physical health changes after you get your final physical, they're going to come down on your unit. And so after I got my final physical and I turned my gear in, I wasn't doing anything. They didn't need me at work for anything. I would show up to first formation in the morning and then go right back to my room. I wouldn't do PT. And then all I was doing all day was waiting for orders. So I'd go down to S1. Hey, my order's in yet today? Nope. Okay. I might go back to work and just check in. Be like, hey, they don't have my orders. But my team leader would just be like, all right, man, go ahead and get out of here. And that was like the last 3 months of my time in the Army. So you have time to figure out what you're doing. There's no reason for you to get out and have no plan. My initial plan, I got out to try and get on the fire department, and I knew that was going to be a long process and I would have to find something to keep me afloat in the meantime. And I kind of got out and was winging it a little bit, but I at least had a goal. Not even like a 50-meter goal. I had like a 150-meter goal, and everything else up to that point was winging it. But it was my mindset that helped me be successful. And that's kind of what I want to focus on. I got out, and like a lot of guys, I got out and I wanted to take a break for a little bit. My plan, because I got out and I had like a month of terminal leave and I still had another 2 paychecks or something coming from the Army, I was like, hey, I'm just going to get out, take like a week or 2 off, probably like 2 weeks off, and just kind of decompress a little bit, and then I'll go and start finding a job. And I got out for like 2 or 3 days and got way too bored. It was literally like a weekend and I was already bored out of my mind because you want to relax at home and decompress, and you kind of think that you're going to be home with the people that you want to be home with, but their life doesn't stop for you. They still got to go to work, so you just find yourself at home by yourself a lot, and that's not for me. So I went out and made my job finding a job. That's what I spent all day doing. I would go around and fill out applications, email people, message people on Facebook, ask other people that I knew, hey, do you know anybody that's hiring? Put it out on Facebook. There's so many things you can do to find a job. It's ridiculous. So I don't really buy when people say that they can't find a job or there's no work out there. There's work out there. My first job when I got out of the Army was at an indoor like electronic shooting range. If you guys have seen the Haley Strategic D7 program, look that up. It's like a virtual reality kind of like simulating shooting range, and it's really cool. But it was owned by a Navy SEAL that was kind of local to me, and so I emailed him. My dad saw one of his cards somewhere and had his email on it. I emailed him, told him I had just gotten out of the Army and I was trying to find some work, and he came back and I ended up working for him for like a month. But even before that, I was talking to this guy that worked at a FedEx place. So to me, you should never stop where you're at. Always look for the next thing. Don't get comfortable where you're at. Don't get comfortable with whatever job you have. Look for the next thing. There's something that's going to make you more money, something that's going to make you more happy. And for me, I got that job at that Navy SEAL ran place, and it was good for me, I think, being surrounded by other military people, because there's a few Navy SEALs that work there, a Marine, another Army dude, and I think it was good to be surrounded by those like-minded people when I was transitioning initially. And after that, the money wasn't good enough for me to pay my bills, so I continued to explore my other options, and another thing that had popped up was FedEx. And FedEx will hire pretty much anybody. They're always hiring because they're always short-staffed. They always need more drivers. You need a few certifications, like you need a new driver's license that has a for-hire endorsement or a chauffeur's license or whatever they call it, and that it's like $25 or something. Once you pass it, you just go to your local BMV, tell them you want to take that test. You take the test. When you pass it, you pay like $25, and they give you a new license that has that endorsement on it, and then you can go work at FedEx. I think you have to have a year's driving experience, but they took my Army driver's license as my professional driving experience. So if you've ever like driven a paper route or anything basic like that where you had to drive a work truck for work, they will hire you. You just have to have that experience and you have to have that license. And they'll hire anybody. They pay really well. I got paid it was like $800 a week before taxes, and I got paid every Friday. It was awesome. Good money. Really easy job once you kind of got into your routine and figured your route out. And great job. Loved it. Probably the best boss I ever had. And I worked there for a few months until the fire department thing popped up, and I actually got a phone call when I was driving my route saying, hey, we want to hire you. And that's when I stopped working at FedEx. So it was constantly climbing this ladder to get to where I'm at now. And now I'm working at 2 different fire departments. I'm in the National Guard. So I have 3 different means of income. And, I'm not like rich, I'm not loaded, but I'm doing really well for myself. I come from a really kind of a ran down town in the Midwest. And the people that I grew up with, my town is known for people not escaping. It's known for people getting pregnant in high school, getting into drugs, getting in jail. Just nothing good. Nothing really good comes out of Anderson unless you kind of escape Anderson a little bit. And if you have ever been to Anderson, you'll know what I'm talking about. But most people in Indiana don't even know what that place is. But I digress. It's all about the mindset that you have. So my advice to you, after all this whole storytelling shit, have a very goal-oriented, a very driven mindset. Make your job, when you get out, finding a job. If you haven't already secured yourself something and you get out and you're kind of just finding yourself with nothing to do and no job, go and spend all day applying to places. Spend all day messaging people, texting friends, calling people, finding something. It is not hard to find a job if you put a little bit of effort into it. My hometown is a place that most people are really good at finding excuses for why they can't find a job, which is why everybody gets stuck there and ends up making less than $20,000 a year. and there's no excuse for it, and I have no patience for it. So I want to help everybody as much as possible when they are transitioning out of the military, and it's less about what opportunities you think there are and more about your mindset that you have when you get out. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end it here. If you have any questions or anything like that, as always, comment below, let me know, and I'll talk to you later.